Congress is honoring conservative influencer Charlie Kirk before his memorial service Sunday as well by passing a resolution creating a national day of remembrance. The Senate voting unanimously Thursday to designate that day as October 14th, which is Kirk's birthday. The House also passing its own resolution honoring Kirk, but not all lawmakers agreed. 96 Democrats did not support the measure, pointing to Kirk's statements on guns, race, and LGBTQ rights to argue that his legacy remains sharply divisive. The Hill's Julia Manchester live in Washington, D.C. with more on this. All right, Julia, there was bipartisan support for the resolution on Capitol Hill, right?
Hey, Laura. Yes, the resolution flew through the Senate with unanimous support, and it also passed in the House. But like you said, 96 Democrats declined to back it, with 38 Democrats voting present and 58 Democrats voting no. Now, Democrats have publicly condemned Kirk's assassination despite their ideological and political disagreements with the conservative activist. On Thursday, Democratic leadership, including Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, told their caucus that they intended to vote for the resolution, but they did not whip votes together in favor of the resolution. Instead, leadership told members to, quote, vote their conscience. Now, critics of the resolution, which include Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a progressive, argued it politicized Kirk's death. But Republicans, including Speaker Mike Johnson, say there was no excuse to oppose the resolution. Here's what Ocasio-Cortez and Johnson had to say.
Instead of uniting Congress in this tragedy, with one of the many bipartisan options to condemn political violence and Kirk's murder, as we did with the late Melissa Hortman. Instead, the majority proceeded with a resolution that brings great pain to the millions of Americans who endured segregation, Jim Crow, and the legacy of bigotry today.
I want to read with you the final line of this resolution because I think it's something that the American people are eager to hear. It says this, quote, "The House of Representatives calls upon all Americans to reject political violence, recommit to respectful debate, uphold American values, and respect one another as fellow Americans." Sadly, a number of Democrats could not bring themselves to vote for that.
And the resolution comes as a number of Republican leaders, including Speaker Mike Johnson, head to Arizona to attend Kirk's memorial service tomorrow. Laura?
Yeah, it is going to be quite something. Looking ahead, Julia, is there any indication that Republican and Democratic lawmakers are seeking to tone down the political rhetoric in the aftermath of Kirk's assassination? We've been talking about it, but have you noticed anything happening?
Well, Laura, like you said, we've heard calls from both sides of the aisle to tone down the rhetoric, but it's unclear whether that will stick. We're already seeing partisan finger-pointing over who is responsible for the heightened political violence and political rhetoric. But earlier this morning, Republican Congresswoman Kat Cammack praised her colleague, Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, for attending a vigil held for Kirk at the Capitol earlier this week. This was with NewsNation's Hannah Doba. Take a listen.
I have been very disappointed with what I've seen out of some of my counterparts on the left. But then I think there's also some folks that deserve a shout out. People like Debbie Dingell, Democrat from Michigan. She showed up at the vigil that we hosted in the U.S. Capitol, and her and I have exchanged so many conversations about why it's so important we come together as Americans first. That's what Charlie would have wanted.
And Cammack said that Republicans and Democrats can honor Kirk's legacy by keeping the conversation going and working in a way that keeps people engaged. Laura?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.